And the slaps on the back, the pats on the back, his training's in decline, and his camp's even in a bigger decline. Well, it's not a camp, it's a circus. It's a
social media, and he's jumping, he's moving. You think that boy's speeding that up? He ain't that strong. That's what I used to think. I thought he's filtered that. He's just speeding it up. When you're actually there, you see.
Ten to go.
John Fury shocked by Carl Froch's monster training ahead of their fight. Watch John Fury try to laugh it off, mocking the camp, mocking the support around Carl Froch. But the nerves are obvious underneath. That's a man throwing insults because he's terrified of what he just watched on screen.
Oh, let's just see what he does. And we'll look forward to meeting again somewhere in the future. That's all I can say about that.
John Fury reaches for personal attacks because he has nothing left to say about the actual danger Carl Froch represents physically. Dismissing a man as some keyboard warrior doesn't erase the power sitting right in front of him. This is deflection, plain and simple, from a man avoiding the real conversation.
A good thing about him, because he hasn't got anything good to say. So what it is, we'll leave him where he belongs.
Fair enough.
In front of his computer. Talking to some kids, trying to bamboozle children. That's what he does, isn't it?
Johnny Nelson isn't exaggerating here, and John Fury knows it deep down. Speed, power, and genuine hunger, that combination is exactly what should be keeping John Fury awake right now. A fighter who enjoys the violence and still has room left to improve is the last thing John Fury wants across the ring.
The power, the speed that I'm seeing, I'm thinking, excuse my French, fuck me. This boy looks on fire at this stage. And he's nowhere near the finished article. He enjoys it. He enjoys this position in life that he's at because he enjoys still fighting, which makes him a dangerous champion because he's champion.
Johnny Nelson is quietly exposing the gap between John Fury's talk and John Fury's reality. Believing you're the best means nothing without the paperwork to prove it, and John Fury has neither the belts nor the performances to back up his own noise right now.
Being heavyweight champion of the world and believe you're the best fighter in the world, and then you're not, it's hard to swallow. So we can't talk like he's the best fighter in the world because officially he's not.
Carl Froch didn't need to raise his voice to make John Fury look small here. The disappointment says it all on its own. When a former champion calls your conduct shameful, that's not an insult. That's a verdict. John Fury should sit with that discomfort instead of pretending it doesn't sting.
Calm down. Calm down.
Frank Warren erupts at John Fury after heated confrontation with Carl Froch. Frank Warren is absolutely fed up with John Fury's disgraceful antics, calling out the disrespect and vulgar language directly. Carl Froch deserves proper respect, not chaos and threats. Frank Warren wants boxing, not embarrassment. And John Fury's behavior is dragging the sport through the mud completely.
It's nice putting it, I mean, a lot of people like to see all this rubbish, and they think it's all like this stage, which it's not. It is unnecessary. We have a good fight. We've got a fight these two guys' styles will complement each other. It'll be an absolute complete war in the ring, which is where we want.
Frank Warren clearly did not sign up for this madness. Forced to clean up after John Fury's reckless confrontation once again. Carl Froch stayed composed while John Fury lost total control, and this promoter is clearly done tolerating this repeated disgraceful behavior from him.
Else, it seemed. I wasn't there when it happened because we was inside doing whatever we was doing, other interviews, I think, and somebody showed it to me. I see John with his cut head. Look, that's not what we want. I don't want to see that happen. No one does. But I understand now both sides have made it up. They've apologised. So hopefully it's all in the past and we can concentrate what everybody's out here for, which is
Derek Chisora admitting he craves violence when provoked only highlights how dangerously close John Fury pushed this entire situation. Frank Warren never wanted this circus, and Carl Froch remained the only composed figure while chaos threatened to consume the whole event.
John Fury should fight that Irish guy. What's the other traveller guy who keeps calling him out?
in London. I forgot his, Joey Egan. That fight should happen. Yeah. You know, stop going around and headbutting young boys. He should fight that guy, that Joey Egan guy. That guy keeps calling him out every day, but John Fury don't say nothing. And point number 2, he done it to the wrong characters, because he done it to a bunch of pussies.
Eddie Hearn admitting this crossed into physical territory confirms exactly what Frank Warren feared all along. John Fury's threats against Carl Froch went far beyond acceptable promotion, and this uncontrolled aggression is precisely why Frank Warren erupted with such fury and disgust.
If he fights John Fury and that light bulb switches on, you know that Carl Froch is a bad man. He was when he was fighting, and he's probably got that same spite in him now. And if he lands one on Fury, then it could be quite devastating. And Froch has always been quite heavy-handed. Look what he did to George Groves. Ironed him out, and George Groves was world class at that time. So everybody knows that the last thing you lose in boxing, if you're a natural puncher like a Froch, is your punch. And Froch, listen, Fury wouldn't be able to get out of the way of that. He doesn't know how to get out of the way of that. He couldn't get out of the way of that. And I'm sure if Froch anytime Froch is ready to close that one out, it's...
Johnny Nelson paints a picture of a man completely consumed by the moment. John Fury losing himself in raw emotion the second Carl Froch pushed back. Pressure is mounting fast, and Johnny Nelson believes the authorities won't let this backstage near brawl slide quietly for much longer.
He's an emotional being, gets into the moment, forgets himself. You can see, excuse the bad language, but this is, when you see that, this is the moment when he realised he beat up. It was that, when John had done it, like, shit, what have I done? But he had to own it. I think the pressure was on. The pressure is now on John to behave himself. He's distracted. A lot of attention and talk, and I'm quite sure someone will have a word with him out. The authorities will have a word with him out there, because that.
Carl Froch refuses to let this backstage confrontation fade quietly, mocking John Fury's sudden silence now that the cameras have moved on. According to Carl Froch, all that talk about being a fighting man disappears the second real consequences enter the conversation, and he's calling out every promoter and handler he believes is now quietly talking John Fury out of finishing what nearly happened backstage. Carl Froch wants a straight answer. Are they actually fighting, or was that entire near brawl just another empty show for the cameras?
Just to finish, I can't come on here and not mention Big John Fury, the fighting man. He's gone quiet again. He talks the good one, doesn't he? Talks the absolute gobshite out of himself. Doesn't fucking stop going on and on and on and on and on and fighting man. He doesn't shut up, punching walls. And then he gets put onto him. John, what we're doing? Are we fighting? I think DAZN's been onto him. I think Misfits have been onto him. Calisal and the promoter.
Duke McKenzie reveals just how serious Carl Froch's intentions truly are, recalling a direct promise to smash John Fury to pieces if this ever goes beyond backstage shouting. Reminding everyone that Carl Froch is a genuine Hall of Famer, Duke McKenzie insists this isn't some washed-up name looking for attention, but a proven world champion who clearly meant every word of that threat against John Fury after their near brawl.
He promised me unequivocally that he would smash John Fury to pieces should the event actually happen. Again, you're looking at a former world champion in Carl Froch. You're looking at a former he's a Hall of Famer, Carl Froch. You don't get into the Hall of Fame, the International Boxing Hall of Fame, without having been pretty damn decent in your own profession.
Eddie Hearn makes his loyalty crystal clear, admitting he'd never bet against Carl Froch in a real street fight no matter how big John Fury looks standing next to him. Illegal moves or not, Eddie Hearn believes Carl Froch will be the one throwing with genuine bad intentions if these two ever get properly close again after what almost happened backstage between them.
John Fury, Carl Froch, where does it go for you? Where do you put your money on?
I would never back against Carl Froch on the cobbles, ever. But John Fury's a big old lump. There'll be some illegal moves in there. Do you know what I mean? But if they ever get close, Carl will be swinging. Do you know what I mean? So
John Fury goes into full attack mode here, warning Carl Froch that outside the boxing ring, he becomes an entirely different animal. Bringing up old school toughness from decades past, John Fury dismisses any notion that a smaller man could ever get the better of him if their backstage tension ever spills over into a genuine street fight, and the threat sounds anything but empty this time.
Man what's done that and done me in person, he's in a bad way today. Every man outside, I'm an animal. I'm telling you now, people who know me, or the past, they're all dead who know me. Who could say he can fight? Outside he's an animal. They're all dead and gone. I'm from old school. I'm from the 70s, 80s and 90s when men was men. We didn't talk down YouTube. So men made videos. We fought. And you see that, the pussies, man. Pussies. You think some 12-stone man can beat me a fighting right for that window like an airplane?
Derek Chisora tries to redirect John Fury's aggression elsewhere, suggesting he settle his temper against Joey Egan instead of chasing confrontations with Carl Froch. Even in defending him, Derek Chisora subtly admits John Fury has a pattern of losing control in public, and that same pattern is exactly what nearly triggered a genuine brawl backstage with Carl Froch.
He's always defending his kids, yeah. Point number one, yeah. John Fury should fight that Irish guy. What's the other traveller guy who keeps calling him out in London? I forgot his, Joey Egan. That fight should happen, yeah. You know, stop going around and headbutting young boys. He should fight that guy.
Carl Froch escalates things dramatically, straight up labeling John Fury a bully who needs putting firmly in his place. Bringing up the brutal George Groves knockout at Wembley, Carl Froch reminds everyone exactly what he's capable of doing to a man barely older than himself. It's a chilling reminder that this backstage tension could turn genuinely violent, and Carl Froch sounds fully prepared to be the one who finally shuts John Fury up for good.
I do not like it when it goes this way. I don't know, that language and all the stuff that goes down. Totally unnecessary because we've got a really, really good competitive fight.
John Fury shocked by Carl Froch's monster training ahead of their fight. Watch John Fury try to laugh it off, mocking the camp, mocking the support around Carl Froch. But the nerves are obvious underneath. That's a man throwing insults because he's terrified of what he just watched on screen.
Me, let's be honest. I'm just gonna be honest with you. If I get to a point of violence, I don't want violence to stop me. Yeah, I don't believe by getting upset and then people holding me back. I believe in, if I get upset, I want violence.
Carl Froch didn't need to raise his voice to make John Fury look small here. The disappointment says it all on its own. When a former champion calls your conduct shameful, that's not an insult, that's a verdict. John Fury should sit with that discomfort instead of pretending it doesn't sting.